Broadcast live.
We out here with the homeboy Instro. Motherfucking Rain is in the motherfucking house. It's about to join us too, because that's how we move, man.
Gotta keep this quick, man.
Instro, how you doing, man?
I can't complain, man.
Out of the blue, you did a Ninth Wonder album, you know.
Ninth Wonder. Why would you say Ninth Wonder?
The producer literally dropped an album. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You know, we were wonder whether is the producer gonna rap. I remember whenever the first producer rapper album was like, is the producer gonna rap?
Yeah. Unfortunately not. You know.
How do you feel about rapping producers?
I think it's great, man. You know, we got people like Tweezy coming out. You know, he's a rapper producer, and he's doing great things. My younger brother, Hope Master, he's also like a producer and a rapper. They're doing really incredible things with their art, you know. And I think it's important to explore your art. You know, don't just limit yourself just because I make beats. You know, it doesn't mean that I can't DJ or I can't do anything to to make what I'm doing bigger, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great thing. We should explore as much of the art as we can.
So people always ask me to do a producer's show, and I think that would be boring, you know? But like maybe I need to find out from a producer, and maybe there could be like a show you can host on Slick on Live.
Man,
what give me an idea for a producer's show. What do I do? Because all it is do a bing, bing, that's the bass. Do, you know.
I love that you just asked me that question, and you mentioned the word boring, you know. So I've got this.
And by the way, I speak as a guy who's produced before.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, everybody's got different experiences, and as a producer, I think what we do is far from boring, you know. But at the end of the day, let me tell you about this. I've got a weekly podcast called Producers Paradise, where I showcase different South African producers. From PH to 37 MPH to the unknown ones, your A majors, your Al the thirds, you know, like there's every week we showcase what they've done, and they share their stories with us. So every single Monday, Producers Paradise is on my SoundCloud, my website. Check it out. I think it's really dope. It gives you perspective about, you know, what producers do, and more importantly, their experience. You know, it gives them a bit more value to an insight into what they actually do, you know, from the horse's mouth. So every Monday, Producers Paradise. You can find it on promiselandint.co.za.
Alright, so you know, I'm gonna do the right thing, you know, and do a deal right now. You know, we're gonna start like embedding that Producers Paradise. This will be our unofficial producers show on Slick on Live. You know, it's not commissioned, you know. It's, we'll post it. So every Monday when it drops, we'll also drop it Monday afternoon.
Yeah,
and you know, it's because for me, you know, I know what I know, but what I know is not the be all and the end all. So I wanted to get an opinion from a producer. Like, cats always like sending me beats. They're like, yo, you gotta have a producer show, you gotta get Tweezy, you gotta do this. I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need someone that's gonna constantly and passionately do it.
Trust me, I've been doing this this will be my 9th week doing showcasing producers. So it's really like, it gives you a lot of insight, man, about what we go through, and I think it's very important to give some sort of value to what producers do, because, man, these dudes don't get paid enough, you know, for the amount of work that they do. You know, I think being a producer is such a beautiful job, but it's very thankless. You know, it's almost as thankless as being a sound engineer. You know, when you're doing a performance, when the show goes perfectly, nobody thanks you. But the second something goes wrong, you're the first person that they look at. Like, yo, fuck the engineer. Yo, the engineer, this and that, you know? So, like, it's really about bringing more value to what the guys behind the scenes do. You know what I'm saying? Like, just glorify it a bit. And that's where I'm trying to take it. You
So right now you just dropped your is it an EP? Is it a mixtape? Is it an album? Is it a?
It's a project, man. Like you can call it whatever you like.
You just dropped your music that's in a collective of songs.
Yes, that's what it is. It's a project.
I love the title. What's inspired to do? I mean, firstly, say the title. Secondly, why do you think? In fact, no. Say the title, and then I ask you.
The title of my project is called "Help Me Not Forget Me."
How can you forget you?
It's easy. When you're in the game, yo, I could tell you stories about watching people come up, and yo, man, as soon as they've made it, you don't recognize them anymore. They don't even recognize themselves anymore. You know what I'm saying? So with me releasing this project, I knew that I was getting into a space where I could so easily lose myself, and it's important to me to stay grounded in what I was raised in, staying principled, staying the best possible person that I can be, It's just a plea to God to say, yo, help me just, not lose my way, to stay the person that I am, stay the person that you designed me to be.
I think, you gotta literally like amend that saying. You gotta go, so help me get like these crazy mad ass sync deals and these big publishing chicks, and then
help me nah. It's actually very a spiritual thing to see things before they happen. You know what I'm saying? Because those sync deals, those big checks, they are on their way. You know what I'm saying? I speak through faith, saying that. You know what I'm saying? They're on their way, and when I see them, it's important for me not to lose myself and go crazy with the money. You know what I'm saying? I need to always stay grounded. I need to always think about the music first, because that's where essentially it all starts.
All right.
Help me not forget me.
So experiencing a lot of people that forget themselves. I mean, what are the repercussions of forgetting yourself, Because maybe your life is good now. Why do you have to remember your old self that was upstairs at Cool Out?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's said about, a person that loses themselves is they usually go with whatever is the trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's sad, man, to see certain, people that you respect, people you consider in high regard, doing something that is even outside of them, just to remain relevant, just to try and be seen. You know what I'm saying?
Have you got names of guys that you've seen like that?
I'd rather not talk about them. I don't think it's worth it.
So obviously the guys that are not featured on your album are the guys that you feel changed.
Not
I'm just
really.
playing shifty because that means it's the whole rap. The rest
Yeah,
of the rap.
Nah. And I mean, I love the fact that I've got only like 3 well-known names on the entire project. That's Reason, that's Big Star Johnson, and that's Something Soweto. And the rest are just unknown and up-and-coming artists. So
I was disappointed to see the project that you released the project and you still haven't sent me shit. You're full of empty promises too. Help you not to lie too.
You know what the problem is, Slick?
Yeah.
The problem is when you start from scratch, there are like a lot of things that you miss. I'm a music guy. I've always concentrated on the creation of the music. So I'm still young in this whole, we gotta have a PR plan. We gotta send this to this guy.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you been threatening me for years. You literally pulled me in a corner one day and you said, I got a beat for you.
I got some music for you.
I got some music for you.
You know,
you've been threatening me for years with that music line. I'm like, I said, yo, Instro, I need to rap on some real shit though. You gotta send me that, So when you dropped the EP, I was like, this nigga dropped an EP. I'm not on the EP. He never sent me the instrumental. I mean, how is he gonna be true to even the saying and the name of his album?
Slick, it's it's so crazy, man, that like when you finally decide to get to a point of dropping a project, bro, like, yo, man, everything that you've ever said to anybody just falls out the window. You know, now you're just concentrating on how to design this baby, you know, how to make sure that it sounds a certain way.
Yeah.
And yo, man, unfortunately, you weren't in those plans, brother. You know, that's just the truth. You weren't in those plans. But if you ever need some crazy ass production, you know where to get. Yo, actually, man, I had a conversation with this one music guy. He's your peer, actually, man, and he broke my heart, man. Like, yo, he's actually the reason why I don't like to mess with older OGs anymore, you know, cause yo, he disappointed me, that cat. I called him, I'm like, yo, man, I got some music for you. And he was like, yo, man, before we even go anywhere, please just tell me how much your beats cost, you know, before we even go anywhere. I'm like, okay, it costs this much. And he was like, what? Nah, dog, no ways am I paying for that. I mean, Nyams gives me prices like twice less that. And I'm like, what? How is a respected producer like Nyambo, you know, charging like peanuts for production when he's so dope, you know? And that to me was so heartbreaking. I was like, all right, cool, man, no disrespect, you know, I understand, you know, that you're used to a certain price, but man, as producers, yo, man, we sell ourselves short like you won't believe, man. It's heartbreaking. So part of the reason why I'm dropping this project is to bring value back into what, you know, producers do, man. Like, it's, yo, man, we can't be charging peanuts, man. We can't do that anymore because people are out here getting R1 million deals, you know, off the music you made, you know, that you are a part of, you know. So, yo, it's very important to me to give some sort of value to what a producer does, you know. So
that's real. So I'm against the OG.
I'm not gonna say. I was just really heartbroken, you know, like on the real.
So
like,
you thought that when you called me, I was gonna hit you with that?
Yes. I the very first thing that OGs like to do is not pay, man. They don't understand the concept of, you know, placing value.
It depends who you're speaking to, you know. I mean, you gotta be also cognizant of the fact that, like, if it's an OG that's not active, they probably really don't have the money.
But
if it's a kid if it's a kid that's active, it would make sense. Yeah. So for me, like, I'm saying, music is not my I don't make money off music, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I will approach you and I'll go, yo, I will pay you, you know, I'll pay you something out of respect. Yeah. But, you know, and I'll tell you if I can't afford you, yeah, which I've done to a lot of people. I can't afford you, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, like, you know, that's just how it's going to be. You're either going to be paid or I can't afford you. But a lot of OGs, they don't have the money flowing in, whether it's off shows, because especially if they're trying to come back or do whatever they do. Yeah. So, you know, there's other things to negotiate as a producer, you know. Yes. I mean, so if you negotiate, like, maybe handling the whole project and having something, a stake in the you know, so yeah, you actually also start becoming a part of the business also. Yeah. So, you know, you can't always look at things from a yo, you just need to get the cash, you know? Yeah. You got to look at things of, okay, so if there is an interest in the project as anticipated, then how do I literally, like, offer a whole service then? So you also got to also know how to upsell as part of business. You know, okay, you can't afford that, but how do I upsell the rest of the service? Because you're not just a producer, you're an engineer, you know how to mix, you know how to do, so how do you upsell? Yeah. And that's where the business is. You're not like a producer that just make beats in his bedroom. Yeah. You've built a system that if you cannot upsell the machinery you've purchased, and you're just only looking at your production, then what's the fight? Because sometimes you don't get paid a damn thing for the production, but everything is around you, and you're part of the ownership of the master. You're part of, and whether you negotiate it, okay, so if after X amount of shows, this is what. There's so many things to see, but the person has to be worth it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, I hear you, and I know you wanted to vocalize this, you know. But what I want to say is that you don't only get paid through just getting paid directly. How are you upselling everything else that you do?
Yeah. Well, you know, you're absolutely right. You know, you're absolutely right. One needs to always explore, you know, other avenues. But like, I think the biggest.
It's how it's done, also.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is the, you know, like somebody who's gonna tell me about Nyams. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna say, yo, Nyams charges less for this? For me, that's like. Yeah, but that's Nyams though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's him. You know why are you gonna compare? You haven't even heard what I have to offer. How are you gonna say, yo, Nyams? To me, that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That hurts to hear something like that. You know?
Yeah.
That makes me not even want to pursue anything with you, because now you're already comparing my price with somebody else's when you don't even know what the value is, what the value of my work is. You know what I'm saying? And that's really my problem more than anything.
Broadcast live